Hello everyone, here are the latest market news on May the 5th, 2020. UK begins trade talks with the US. On Tuesday, the United Kingdom started negotiations with Washington over a free trade deal. The first round of talks will involve 100 officials in Truss's Department for International Trade and 100 on the US side. The government's negotiation objectives for the deal point to a modest economic gain of 0.16% of GDP over 15 years, with the International Trade Secretary Liz Truss said this agreement can help our economies bounce back from the economic challenge posed by coronavirus. Priorities for the government in talks include securing more access for the City of London's financial firms to the U.S. market. Furthermore, the Prime Minister has also highlighted the potential gains for small exporters, pointing to trade barriers affecting some British products. Donald Trump, meanwhile, has previously described the potential for a deal as massive. BNP Paribas expects lower income in 2020. BNP Paribas' profit fell by a third in the first quarter as the coronavirus crisis hit equity trading and prompted the Eurozone's biggest bank to set aside more than €500 million in loan provisions. The bank's net income declined to €1.28 billion in the quarter, while revenue fell 2.3% to €10.9 billion. BNP Paribas said it would accelerate cuts to its operating expenses and warned that its 2020 net income could be about 15% to 20% lower in the 2019. Meanwhile, the bank rolled out emergency loans to help businesses maintain their activity amid lockdowns. Due to that, loans and repurchase agreements almost doubled during the quarter, with BNP's balance sheet growing to €2.7 trillion from €2.2 trillion. Amazon's Tim Bray resigns amid unfair dismissals. Tim Bray, a top engineer and vice president at Amazon, announced he is resigning due to the company fired employee activists who criticized working conditions amid the coronavirus pandemic. Bray's resignation comes as Amazon faces increased scrutiny and employee activism over its international response to coronavirus. Amazon workers on Friday participated in a nationwide protest claiming the company has failed to provide enough face masks for workers, did not implement regular temperature checks it promised at warehouses, and has refused to give workers paid sick leave. In a blog post explaining his resignation, Bray said that the firings of organizers at the company were designed to create a climate of fear. In resigning, Bray has become the highest-ranking corporate employee at Amazon to publicly speak out about worker conditions. Australia and New Zealand work on borders opening. Australia and New Zealand said on Tuesday they work on allowing travel between two countries amid cautiously reopen their mostly shuttered economies after containing outbreaks of coronavirus. The two countries have for more than a month closed their borders to all non-citizens and imposed mandatory quarantines on anyone returning home from overseas. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison said travel across the Tasman Sea between the neighbours would be the first international road restarted. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, who on Tuesday became the first world leader to join an Australian cabinet meeting in more than 60 years, said the move would take some time to work through.